Hello everyone, welcome back to the Grown Girl Tarot. So in today's reading, we will be talking about what do you need to be grateful for in your life. I'm not gonna lie, the messages were completely different than what I had in my mind, and in the end, I'm not even sure if this is even related to the topic. But since it came through in this way, then so be it. I believe that it is divinely guided and inspired. So I hope that when you are listening to this reading, right, it kind of inspired you and helped you to find meaningful ways for you to be grateful for in your life. And do let me know in the comment section how it resonated with you, okay? Because I'm not even sure if this is related to the topic, which is what do you need to be grateful for. But I hope that through this reading, it helped you to understand yourself better and help you to find ways where you can just incorporate a grateful routine in your life. Okay, so this reading is actually inspired by one of the readers that I saw on Instagram, which I find it to be very interesting. So I decided to go ahead with this reading. So credits to this reader on Instagram, and I want to thank her for coming up with this beautiful reading. And yeah, thank you so much for giving me this inspiration as well. So credits to her on Instagram. Now, I know that many of us, right, we do not really consciously practice gratitude. And I hope that just through this reading, we can see the gratefulness in everything, right? In life, in our body, in what we have, and even in what we have lost, right? Even in what we have lost that does not have any meaning in our life anymore, and that can be a form of divine protection. And these are the things that we can find ways to be grateful for in our lives, isn't it? So yeah, now I'll be showing you a close-up of this image. So whether or not you're drawn to the image, the numbers, or the words in itself, see what you are drawn to. Okay, so for pile number 1, you are safe to make mistakes. You are safe to be imperfect. You are safe. Okay, so this is pile number 2. This is the number 13, and pile number 1 is 11. Heal yourself through eternal love and unconditional self-acceptance. Forgiveness will set you free. This is pile number 2. Okay. Last but not least, we have pile number 3, which is actually pile number 3. 2 cards came through, so but I'll be using this card. You will see which other card came through for this reading. So the number 27, which is connect with your soul family. Okay. Alright, so once you have picked your pile or piles, you are free to go scroll down to the description, and then you find your own pile through the timestamp that I've returned. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. Alright, I'll see you guys. Bye. Hi, welcome back, pile number 1. So in today's reading, we will be looking at what do you need to be grateful for in your life. So we'll be taking 3 tarot cards as usual, and a final closing affirmation to just close this reading, okay? To help you find ways to be grateful for things in your daily life. Now, before we get started, please remember that this is a collective reading. Not all messages are going to resonate. Please do not give your power away to me or any other psychics, any other mediums and readers, just anybody out there. Okay, you always have the free will to create your own destiny. If you do not like, or your intuition tells you that this is not your pile, please listen to it and trust yourself more than anything else. Okay, if you do not like the messages, if you feel incredibly triggered by what I've mentioned, then please choose another pile, right? Or if you do not resonate with today's reading, then you can, if you resonate with my energy, you can check out my other readings, or you can check out other amazing readers out there as well that might resonate with you. Okay, so yeah, before I lay out the cards, I just want to mention that some things you can be grateful for is the nutrients that you have received. And what I mean by nutrients is that, food, air, sunlight, right? A home. And not all of us have all of these things. And I'm also hearing even social media as well, right? We have access to social media and technology, and that's not what many of us can have access to, right? And I agree that sometimes it can be really overwhelming, right? To have access to so much information that you do not even know what is real and what is false. But at the same time, if you think back to the days where our ancestors had lived, they do not have any technology, they do not have any access to any resources, right? But right now we have so much information, we have so much that we can look up to, and that if there is any form of illness or sickness that we might be having or that we might be experiencing, we can just Google it up and look up on the internet. And these are things that we can be incredibly grateful for, because our ancestors do not have any access to that too, right? So it's very important for you to carve out time and sit with yourself and ask, what do you want to be grateful for today, right? It can be just one simple thing. Maybe it's just the air that you breathe in, right? It's incredibly fresh, right? Maybe not so much fresh if you're living like near city area, right? Just like me. But still, I find ways to be grateful for the air that I breathed in. I would just use sage and some incense and to breathe in just fresh air, right? So yeah, these are the things that you can find ways to be thankful for, right? Not because you want to receive blessings, but you are truly, your heart feels really open. Your heart just feels really full, and that your heart is just full of love and compassion, and you just am grateful for everything in your life. And this is something that it's not to be taught, it is something to be cultivated within you. All right, pile number 1. So yeah, now I'm going to lay out the cards. Firstly, we have the Fool in the reverse. Okay. Next, we have the 7 of Swords and the Death card. Very interesting. Last but not least, we have the 6 of Swords in the upright. So what do you need to be grateful for in your life? Pile number 1. Spirit is saying that you will always find a way, right? I can see that you are somebody that has been through many different challenges, right? Many deaths and rebirths and transformation. You do not have it easy, pile number 1, right? You have faced many betrayals from others, right? Disappointments, grief, heartbreak, right? And these are not easy feelings to handle, and that you have been through it a lot. Your life has never been easy. But do you realize that every single time when you've been through something really challenging, you would always come out stronger. You would always emerge in a really different way. It's like your entire core changes, right? A part of you dies and gets reborn again, right? And some of you might think that, oh, but is this really something to be grateful for? I don't want to go through any more heartbreaks. I don't want to go through any more griefs and shame again. But that's the thing about life, pal number one. You cannot really avoid pain. You cannot really avoid suffering, not the kind of suffering that we inflict upon ourselves, but the kind of suffering where once we see something that does not align with us, do we trust ourselves? And that do we have the capability to cut it off? Right? For example, let's say you are in a relationship that does not serve your values. And once you see that, you cannot unsee that, isn't it? So what are you going to tell yourself? Okay, like, I've seen this situation. Are you still going to be with this person? Or are you going to come out of that? Right? And it is incredibly painful, right? Because that is a huge death process for you, right? That you are in love with this person, you really like this person, but their core values do not align with yours. And in this point in time, how are you going to solve this? Because once our values, right, you and this person's values do not align, okay, that's just my personal perspective. I believe that that's the end of our relationship. Right? Let's say you value trust, compassion, honesty. This person doesn't. And what this person has always done, it does not reflect back any love, any compassion. And if that's the case, how are you going to solve this issue? What are you going to do? Spirit is saying that you always have the chance to start over and over and over again. Even if you believe that you have made a foolish decision, even if you think that was a very immature decision, you can always start it over and over and over again. You can always restart your life. You can always choose to start over. You never have to worry about, oh, if I leave this person, then there wouldn't be any other options. There wouldn't be any other people that are going to come into my life. No. Do not feed yourself of this illusion, because that is an illusion. You will always have someone new, someone better, someone more evolved, more mature in your life. You're always going to have something better to look forward to in your life. But in order for us to make space for the new, are we going to shed and let go of past versions of ourselves and those people as well that do not serve us anymore? Right? And these are the things that we can find ways to be grateful for. And that's, whatever it is that is stripping away from my life, I always have the chance to start over. I always have the free will to choose over and over and over again. I never have to compromise myself, right? I never have to be with people that just doesn't reflect the kind of values that I have, that doesn't share my values, right? You do not have to compromise yourself of your values. Never. The core of it is the same, even if the both of you are incredibly different on the surface, right? One might be more logical, one might be more emotional. But just because they are more logical, just because they are more emotional, it doesn't rob them away of their love, their compassion, their empathy, their consideration, their honesty, their authenticity, isn't it? And that's the thing that you can always trust, is that as long as you align yourself with your inner values, with your intuition, with your soul, even the most unevolved, immature person comes into your life, you totally have the choice to break it off, right? Let's say you share a huge chemistry with somebody at first, and once the both of you deepen the connection, you realize that, wow, this person, it's just like, I just don't resonate with them, right? And the kind of thinking, like the kind of intellect, the kind of compatibility that we share, it just doesn't align. And that's when you are going to have to make the hard decision. Are you going to choose to break it off, or are you still going to interact with them? just because you want to keep the connection alive, just because you feel the sparks and the passion. And I'm not denying that it is a very difficult decision. I'm not denying that. I have had many experiences in my life where I feel a strong chemistry with this person, this strong intensity, and it's like I just get super attached to this person that I think about them all day, all night. But once I look at the actual reality of it, I realize that boom, the illusion is gone. Right? That was just my own projection of things. That was just my yearning for connection that I was projecting onto the other person, but it was just an illusion. It was false. It is not the objective reality that was being shown to me. I was lying to myself. And that's okay. Right? And what I mean by that's okay is that is a part of the human experience. But once we start to see the truth, right, how are we going to deal with it? That's the issue here. Right? So for you, pile number one, finding ways to be grateful is not really about bypassing or sugarcoating things. No, it's about accepting that, okay, this is the end for me. This is the end of our connection, right? No matter how intense this is, no matter how much I think about you all day, night, but ultimately, we are not compatible, right? It's to accept the current reality that is showing me, not one that you have fantasized about, and accepting that things are dying, things are changing, that it's time for me to let go, right? Because I keep hearing, you have the choice to restart everything. You have the choice to restart everything, right? It's not only just about love, but in any areas of your life, even family, right? No matter how loyal you are to your family, if you realize your family is just hurting you, is that really the kind of family that you want to surround yourself with? Right? These are the hard questions that you gotta have to ask yourself. But once you see it, you are going to start detaching yourself from it. Right? Your ways of being grateful is really about letting the deception reveal to you, letting what is hidden beneath the surface being shown to you, so that you stop lying to yourself, because the divine doesn't want to see you in a space where you are compromising yourself, where you are sacrificing yourself for not only just in relationships, in collaborations, in opportunities, in what you desire in your life. Because no matter how many times that you have fall, you will always have the chance to rise back up again. And that's the thing that you can always be grateful for. You can always choose to have faith in. And that no matter how many times you have failed, you will always have a chance to come back stronger, more wiser, more mature. And that no amount of challenges and heartbreak can break you. Even if it feels like you are breaking down in this moment, is only in this moment. It is not a forever thing. You're not going to stay stuck in here forever, right? Life is constantly changing and we are constantly evolving. So do not give in to the belief that, if I fail here, if I make mistakes here, that must mean that I'm just going to go with it. That's all. No. You are going to have what you want and what you've always desired. And believing it strongly that you can have. And that no matter how much pain that I'm currently suffering, you can always count on your own faith and your own belief that things will get better over time. Things will definitely get better, pile number one. You need to always have faith and thankful for the tools, the beliefs that is being placed on you And that spirit is consistently hearing you, hearing your prayers, right? If you're consistently thinking about the worst outcome, then that is going to be manifested. But if you think that, yes, I want to reach the top, I want to reach the top, I want to be the best, then you are going to be the best in what you do. But at the same time, you're going to have to put in work. Okay, it's not just about like thinking and thinking and thinking and not really doing anything. I need to put it out here. All right, you're going to have to really have the faith and believe that the universe will always be here for me, will always be here for us, so that no matter what kind of challenges come my way, I always have my own choice. I always have a choice to make. Is it to continue on or is it to break it off? That's when you're going to have to ask yourself the hard questions. But one thing for sure is that your inner alignment, your inner core values is very important for you. Once you're doing something that doesn't really align with you, doesn't match, like something feels really off and weird, that's when you might realize that things will start to, the tower moment might start to fall, right? That's when you realize that, oh, why are things shifting and changing? Like, why are things crumbling? Because you're not really living according to your aligned reality. That's because you're not living according to your own core. And that is not a punishment. That is grace and a gift from the divine to redirect you to the route that you are supposed to be. Sometimes what comes as a tower moment, right? It hits you at that moment. It's incredibly painful and traumatic. I'm not gonna, lie and say that, oh, everything is fun. No, it's not fun at all. It's scary. It breaks everything down. Of course it is scary. Of course it's traumatic, right? Nobody wants to go through that, including me. But after that point of the tower moment, that's when I start to self-reflect and I start to realize that, hey, I realized that this tower moment was happening for my highest good because it was clearing out things that doesn't serve me anymore, right? You might realize that after a certain period in your life, things might start to crumble. Maybe after 10 years, maybe after 20 years, right? Maybe you think that you are okay with what you have already. But then in your heart, you start to realize that I want something more, I want something different, but you feel really comfortable with this current reality. That's when the tower will start to happen. But this is not a punishment. It is a gift. It is a grace from spirit, from the divine, right? And I know that this can be difficult to hear, but it is. Once you reach a level of maturity and a certain stage in your life, right, there might be some form of inner voice that tells you that you want to choose something different, but maybe you brush it off. Maybe you think that things are fine right now. That's when, right, the tower will start to crumble once more. But this is never not a punishment, and this is something, not at that moment when you're going through it, but maybe after a few months or maybe after a few weeks, you might realize that this is a hand, an invitation from the divine to ask you to go in a different direction, to choose something different, something even better that is aligned for you. Okay, so yeah, I really, really hope that this message resonated for you and maybe allowed you to see things just a little bit more differently, okay? Now we are going to look at, hold on, ooh, where is the deck? Okay, this, which is the Soul Whispers Guidance Oracle, whatever it is, but okay. So yes, hopefully that this reading helped you in some form of way and allows you to see things really differently, and just hoping that it could help you to see your own pain and your own evolution as a way for you to transform. And the more you go through it, the more you realize that the more you go through it, the more you will start to realize that, oh, this was always kind of a help from the divine, right? a hand coming out from the Divine Mother, and that she's always helping you. She's always helping you to align with your highest reality, even if you don't really recognize that in this moment, and it can be incredibly painful, right? So I want to see for pile number 1, let's see some form of affirmation to find ways to be grateful for things in pile number 1's daily life. So can I get like just maybe one card to see things for pile number 1 to be grateful for in their daily lives? Okay. Do I need to cover this up? No. Okay. Is this okay? Yes. Can you see it? Actually, hold on. So, I'm going to show it to you. So, you are safe to make mistakes. You are safe to be imperfect. You are safe. Oh, so the Divine wants to tell you that there are no mistakes being made here, right? You are not doing anything wrong. I was mentioning that, right? Like even if you think you've made a wrong decision, but actually in reality there is actually no wrong decision. It's just our own ego's projection and making us feel guilty for our own decisions. But in fact, every decision, even the wrong one, it is actually aligned with our highest good. Maybe this is the kind of mistake that we are supposed to be making, right? I want to give this example. Like sometimes I might be really lazy and unproductive and just lying in my bed, not really wanting to do anything. And when I come out of it, I would be like, why am I wasting my time lying on my bed? Why am I wasting my time, just scrolling on social media? But sometimes I redirect myself and I think about it like, hey, what if this lying in my bed or scrolling on my phone is also something that is aligned for my highest good, right? Like you do not have to always be chasing your goals or making something or doing something meaningful in order for you to make sure that you are not making a wrong decision. Sometimes what seems wrong on the surface, it is actually what is aligned in our highest good. Maybe it's just we do not recognize that, right? So I want to let you know that there are no bad decisions or right decisions, only the ones that align with your call. That is what it matters. So ask yourself, what is it that you really want to have in your life? What is it that you desire, right? What are your inner values, right? And do not compromise on those values. Do not. Okay, you can always reach the top. Maybe at first it would just be a slow pace, but ultimately you will reach the top. You just have to have faith in it and a belief in every step of the way that every step of yours, pile number 1, is guided. It is consistently guided, and these are things that you can be grateful for in your life, and that whatever seems like a mistake on the surface, whatever seems like you feel like you're doing something wrong, don't. You are not doing anything wrong. Everything is aligned. Even sometimes a misstep is also in alignment for your highest good at that point in time. It's just maybe you do not see it. Okay, so remind yourself that you are always safe. You are safe to be here. You are safe to be held. You are always safe in the embrace of life. Okay, so I want to read from the guidebook. Hold on, where's the guidebook? Here. So 11. Okay, dear human, don't be afraid to be wrong. Everything is perfect in this universe. Mistakes are perfect. Mistakes are a vital part of growth. Mistakes make us wiser and stronger. Strive to be and do your best, but do not let your fear of mistakes stop you. Higher self. So it's important for you to make sure that every step of yours that you are making, every decision, every opportunity that you encounter, you do not have to be afraid of thinking which is the right path, which is the wrong path. What if this path is better? What if that path is better? throw away all of that thinking and sit with yourself. As long as you're aligning with your heart, there is really nothing wrong in this entire universe, even if you are just scrolling through your phone all day, even if you're looking at your phone 24/7, even if you are not showering, even if you are not really cooking, even if you're not cleaning your home, you are still aligned with your highest good. Okay, this is not a joke and all, but this is real. Okay, our human life is already difficult. Please do not shame ourselves doing things that are, please do not shame ourselves and think that we are doing things that are out of alignment. Sometimes what seems like out of alignment is actually for our highest good. It's actually the most aligned thing that we are supposed to be doing in this moment. Okay, pal number one. So yeah, that's all that I have for you today. Pal number one, thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading. And it's very interesting. This reading came out really different than what I was expecting, but I guess that's just the beauty of reading for the collective. Okay, so yeah, I really hope that it really inspired you to find things to be grateful for in your life, as well as able to accept that our life is constantly changing and that nothing is stagnant, and these are things that you can be grateful for too, right? And that nothing is ever stagnant. The wheel of fortune is constantly moving and moving and moving. Okay, so yeah, I want to thank your spirit guides and the divine for allowing me to read for you. And if you're interested, you can like, subscribe, and comment if you want to. If you resonate with my energy, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. And I will, sending you a lot of love, pal number one, and I'll see you guys in my next reading. Bye. Hi, welcome back, pal number two. So in today's reading, we'll be looking at what do you need to be grateful for in your life. So as usual, we'll be taking 3 tarot cards and a final closing affirmation to close this reading to help you find ways to be grateful for the things in your daily life. Now, before we get started, please remember that this is a collective reading. Not all messages are going to resonate. Please do not give your power away to me or any other psychics, readers, just anybody out there. Okay, you always have the free will to create your own destiny. If you do not like or your intuition tells you that this is not your pal, please listen to it and trust yourself more than anything else. All right, if you are triggered by this reading, you feel like, oh, that just doesn't sound like me, that doesn't sound like the things that I should be grateful for, then please choose another pile, right? Or if you connect really well with my energy, then you can check out my other readings, or you can check out other amazing readers out there as well that you might be really connected with, that you might resonate well. Okay? So, pile number 2. I don't know why I'm getting a strong focus, like a strong concentration on your pile. Maybe you yourself are really focused, are really attentive in your work right now, right? You might have things that you are really concentrated on. And maybe in the past, you don't really have such strong concentration. And I feel like this is one of your biggest gifts right now, because your own focus, your own drive, your own attentiveness is making you achieve the kind of dreams that you want to achieve. I'm seeing the Magician card right now in my mind's eye. So the Magician, which is all about aligning your thoughts, aligning your will, aligning your desires with your reality, even if it's not what it seems like it right now, but you are kind of manifesting it from your thoughts, from your fantasy, from your imagination. You are using your own thoughts to create the kind of things, the kind of dreams that you want to achieve, right? Maybe you want to be an inspiration to others. You want to help other people. You want to make meaningful contributions to this planet and to humanity as well. And you are kind of creating it in your mind. And this is what you are aligning yourself with. You're aligning it with your highest self. You're aligning it with your highest reality. And that is the kind of timeline that you are already having in. You are already going through this timeline. It's just right now, the current you are manifesting and you are seeing it in your mind. That doesn't mean that it's not real. It is real. It is something that you are living in. It's just right now, right? It doesn't seem like it in this current reality, but you are making sure that you are doing everything that you can, that you are manifesting whatever it is that you have been fantasizing, whatever it is that you have been imagining into this current reality. And I'm so proud of you. Pile number 2, okay? Continue doing your own work. Continue putting in the effort, not only just dreaming it, imagining it, fantasizing about it, but as well as putting in the work. And I'm sure that you have a strong self-awareness to guide you forward on this path. Now I'm seeing the Chariot, right? You are aligning things. You are making sure that you are putting the attention on what you care about. And that's making you move forward. Right? That's allowing you to align and making sure that everything is working out according to your favor. And that you are kind of, I don't know, I'm hearing like you are kind of you are using your other timelines to align with your current reality right now. And that is just awesome. Pile number 2. Okay, so yeah, now we are going to start with the tarot portion of the reading. Now we have 2 of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Star. Ooh, all right. All right, is it in frame? Okay, last but not least, we have the 7 of Wands. So, very interesting. Hey, pile number 2. What do you need to be grateful for in your life? I'm seeing 444 right now. So, you are extremely protected. Your dreams are protected as well. Right? Whatever is happening in your current reality, it doesn't mean that you are not going to align with your highest self. Right? It's just whatever it is that you are fantasizing and dreaming about, it has yet to reach this current reality. That's all. All you need is more effort on your part, right? Working hard, grounding your dreams, putting in the actual work with the 7 of Wands here, fighting against any forms of negativity, right? Any forms of worrying, anxiety, shame, guilt that is stopping you from putting in your all. You are eliminating and fighting against all of these things, and you are telling yourself, you are reaffirming and recreating your own reality through your thoughts, through your words, right? Through your speech, through how you speak to yourself, how you speak in the mirror, how you think about yourself, right? Do you believe yourself to be untalented, ungifted? Right? If you believe yourself that you are talented and that you have the ability to create what you want, then that is going to happen for you. Right? And these are the things that you can be grateful for, because you absolutely do have the ability of the magician. You have a way to manipulate things, is what I'm hearing. You have a way to manipulate things into your favor, right? For example, let's say you want this collaboration to go your way, right? And you will just engage in forms of self-love, self-pleasure in order to help you, and really believe in it, right? Speaking to yourself and making sure that you deep within you believe in yourself. You making sure that, okay, I really want this to go my way. I really want this to align for me. Then that is going to happen for you. Pile number 2. And Spirit is saying that you always have the free will to create your own destiny, which is very interesting. It's very similar to pile number 1, but not so similar. Because for you is that your own free will, it's according to your own dreams, according to your own desires. It's whatever it is that you have been creating and fantasizing for you. It's whatever it is that comes out of your mind. That's the kind of free will that you have. Your destiny is in your favor. It's in your free will, right? Whatever you choose, whatever decisions that you make, it has the power to influence you, right? Whatever actions, especially actions that you have been putting out there, whatever intentions, whatever behaviors, it will all reflect in your outer reality, even if it's not in a really quick way, even if it's not like what is happening right now, but it sure will be happening in your future or your near future. Right, so for pile number 1 and pile number 2, there are definitely some form of similarities, but it is certainly different. That doesn't mean that pile number 1 doesn't have any free will according to their own destiny, but it's more about like allowing them to make mistakes and try again, right? Even if it seems like they are making bad decisions, but it's not really bad. It's actually happening for their highest good, right? But for you, it's like totally in you, because you are a strong manifester. You are the magician, right? You literally have all of the tools that you have within you in order for you to influence and even like manipulate your own outcome. It all depends on the level of self-love and the level of self-awareness that you develop within, right? That allows you to go against all odds, that allows you to go everything in your favor. And even if sometimes there are going to be challenges and obstacles in the path, right? And as long as you're able to quiet your mind, sitting still within, right? Asking yourself, what kind of options do I have? What kind of solutions do I have? And you will act accordingly, even if challenges and obstacles do arise in your path. Right? This is why for you, pile number 2, you have to be making sure that whatever you think, however you feel about yourself is very, very important. Because these are the ways that can either keep you stuck in a negative outcome or in a positive outcome. It all comes down to you. Right? Like what kind of people that you want to meet, what kind of opportunities that you want to gain, that you want to get. What kind of love that you envision yourself to be, what kind of dreams that you want to have. It all comes down to you. And these are things that allows you to be super grateful for your life, because I'm hearing your destiny is not really fixed, because it's according to you. Right? You decide how you want your life to be. You have the total potential to influence however it is that you want to go, however it wants to unfold. You are the creator and you are the decider of things. Nobody has the potential to stop you unless you yourself stop yourself from it. Right? This is why we have the 7 of Wands energy here. And the 7 of Wands tells me that whether or not are you willing to give up certain notions, like for example, giving up instant gratification in order for you to gain what you want? Or are you willing to fight and face all of the obstacles that you are going to face? Even if you do have the potential to influence an outcome, sometimes there are going to be challenges that are going to arise, right? Let's say you want to influence things to go into your favor. You want this person to like you. But can you actually handle the consequence? And what I mean by the consequence is that what if this person ends up to be one of your most karmic partners that you end up with? And what I mean by karmic is that, sometimes they are here to like trigger and trigger and trigger you, and you kind of manifest, not necessarily, but you kind of influence that outcome because you want this person to like you back, right? And that's the thing, you're going to have to handle the consequences. This is why I'm going to have to put a note here that you have to be careful with what you wish for, pile number 2, especially in regards to a person, especially in regards to a person. Right? Even if you do have the ability to influence things in your own way, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have any obstacles. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have any challenges. Things might change. But you always have the capability to solve it. You have the capability to make it work out in your own favor. So it's really all depending on your mindset and how you view things. Let's say you think that, oh, but I've already made this in my own way. How come there is still obstacles and blockages? Because there will be, right? No matter how much you try to influence that outcome, which you have it. But sometimes things are not going to go your way, right? There are some obstacles that you are going to face, right? Even if you do manifested things to go according to your favor, for example, right, with this person. Let's say there is another situation that comes up and that maybe the other person starts doubting you or starts questioning you. Are you prepared to face, or are you prepared to fight? Like fight in a way where are you prepared to express and speak up for yourself and be super determined and believing in yourself that you can focus on the greatest outcome even if there are obstacles on your way? That's the kind of mindset, that's the kind of perspective that's the challenge here. The challenge is not the outcome, the challenge is your own perspective. Right? How do you view certain things that come your way? Are you gonna still hold that faith and believe that everything is still turning out for my favor, even if it doesn't seem like it right now at this moment? As long as I continue holding on that vision, as long as I continue believing in myself, putting in the effort, things will eventually turn out the way that I wanted. But I must be prepared to face whatever it is that I have to face. Right? Yes, you are a strong manifester. Yes, you are the magician. But you have to remember that things will happen according to your own way. But at the same time, you must be willing and must be prepared to face whatever it is that comes your way. It really depends on your mindset, right? How you view it. Even if there are going to be some challenging situations, how are you going to handle it? That's when it's going to test your capability, your skills, your belief, your faith. But ultimately, you have the power and the ability to do whatever it is that you want in your life. That's the promise that Spirit is giving to you, right? But ultimately, what happens along the way? That's when you are going to face it. You have the paint to paint your canvas, right? But the weather, for example, let's say you're painting your canvas in the middle of the forest, right? Just an example, okay? But you cannot control the weather. You cannot control how your art is going to turn out, right? These are external influences that you cannot really necessarily control, and you have to be prepared to face it. Right? You totally have the paintbrush and the canvas for you, but the external influences, the conditions of the weather, right? How people are going to view your art, for example, or how does the finished product look like? Because sometimes it might be really different according to what you think, according to what you imagine. I experienced this myself too, point number two. Like sometimes I was in art school and I was like recording my own film and all. And sometimes what I imagine the film to be, it doesn't really come out in a way where I was expecting. But I know that it's already for the best. I know that it turned out to be, I don't want to say it turned out to be better or worse, but it was definitely different than what I was expecting. But at the same time, it did turn out well. And that's the thing that you gotta have to face, because sometimes whatever it is that you are fantasizing about, sometimes you're just fantasizing and manifesting the perfect reality, but there are no perfection. There are going to be mistakes along the way. There are going to be imperfections along the way. But the ultimate truth is this: are you still going to hold the belief? Are you still going to hold the faith within that I'm going to carry on despite whatever comes my way. Like, yes, I have the ability to influence and to manipulate my outcome, but am I prepared to face what is going to come my way? That's the question you're going to have to ask yourself, okay? And these are things that can allow you to be not only just being grateful, but at the same time, a belief in you and in the divine too, and believing that the things that seems like it's torturing you, it seems like it's making your life harder, is actually a test. It's actually a test of your own capabilities. It's actually a test of whether or not you hold strong beliefs and trust within you, right? Are you ready to face whatever that is going to come your way? Are you ready to face the kind of challenges that is going to come? Or if you hit some form of obstacle, or if, let's say, somebody starts, like, you want this collaboration to go your way and somebody starts questioning you, asking you questions, are you prepared to answer them? Right? Are you equipped with that critical thinking skills to answer that kind of question? To defend, to fight for what's right, to fight for yourself? Because ultimately that will be the answer to your outcome, your ultimate outcome. Right? Part number 2. So but I don't know if this really makes any sense. So I really, really hope that this gave you like a little bit of comfort, right? And allows you to really continuously, not only just continuously manifest things for yourself, but at the same time, you being able to ground your reality and believing so hard, so damn fucking strong that whatever that is going to come my way, yes, I want this outcome. Yes, I want this to be what I expected, but I also know that there are going to be outside conditions and that I'm prepared to face it too. So it's a combination of both, a belief as well as a preparation of like, yeah, I'm prepared to handle whatever comes my way. But please know that whatever happens in your life, even if the circumstances seems incredibly terrible, even if you feel like you do not have a way with your current reality, you always have. You always have the free will and the right to create the kind of life that you envision for yourself. Like Spirit guarantees that, right? And that whatever it is that you want to use it for your advantage. Be careful, okay, when it comes to a person. Be careful, okay. Like, don't wish, like what I just mentioned. Don't wish like you want this person to like you back, right? Like, oh, I want my crush to like me back. Oh, I want to be together with this person. Then you gotta have to face the consequences, right? Like, if you're not careful, I would say this is not me scaring you, okay, but you gotta have to be careful with what you wish for sometimes, especially when it comes to love and romantic love, especially when it comes to just romantic love, because you don't know what is going to happen. So be very careful if you wish and pray that, oh, I want this person to like me back, or I want to be together with this person, I want to get back together with this person. Be very careful, okay? Like, do whatever it is that you want, listen to your intuition, but I am here and it's my responsibility to remind you that you gotta have to be really discerning and careful with what you wish and what you pray for, because ultimately the outcome, the consequences, you gotta have to face it if you are not careful. And if you wish about a person and all, and I don't know, okay, so you gotta have to be extra discerning and careful with, especially what you pray and what you wish for and what you envision in your mind, especially your mind. Your mind is super fucking powerful, right? The magician is Mercury energy. So the mind, the things that comes out of your mouth as well, your speech, your words, Whatever you say will come true. And why do I have such strong beliefs about that? Because I have it, like I personally experienced it. Like whatever I say that comes out of my mouth, normally it comes true. This is the magician is kind of like a double-edged sword. It really depends on how you're going to use it. If you're going to use it to create that kind of life and your dreams and your goals, right? To create the kind of focus and determination, like, yes, I'm going to achieve this. Yes, I'm going to work on this. And yes, I'm going to believe it. No matter what other people are going to say, no matter how I'm being perceived and all, I'm still going to work on it. I'm still going to put myself out there. That's the kind of faith and belief that you need to have strongly. Okay, pile number 2. So, yes, I hope that this reading made sense. I don't know if this is kind of, I don't know if this really resonates with the kind of reading that I'm doing, which is what do you need to be grateful for in your life. So, yeah, I'm here to remind you of your own power, and I'm here to remind you that these are the things that you can allow yourself to be really, really thankful and grateful for, because you always have your own right to create your own destiny. Nobody has power over you unless you give them your power away, whether consciously or unconsciously. Okay, you can always dictate your life, even if it doesn't seem like it right now, but you always have the free will to change it. Even if it's not going to happen in a very instantaneous way, it will happen in the future, in the near future. It will be recreated, right? It will be created, yes. So, yes, we have this deck, which is the Soul Whispers Oracle. And I'm going to use it to take one final affirmation card to see and to help you find ways to be grateful for things in your daily life, okay? So yes, pile number 2, I really, really hope that this reading kind of made sense, and I really hope that it allows you to reclaim your power and to reclaim your life, to not let other people have any power over you, but at the same time still being able to be very discerning about the kind of things that you manifest, the kind of things that you dream and you fantasize about. Okay, your imagination is also one of your superpowers too. Okay, so we'll take one card to see the things that you can be grateful for in your daily life. So Spirit, pile number 2, which messages to see what kind of things that pile number 2 can be grateful for in their daily life. Spirit that loves pile number 2 unconditionally. Ways for pile number 2 to be grateful for in their lives. Ways for pile number 2. Oops. Okay. So we have, oh, I love this. Okay. Where to put this? All right. So we have the number 13, which is heal yourself. Can you see it? Heal yourself through eternal love and unconditional self-acceptance. Forgiveness will set you free. Yeah, I keep talking about self-love. I keep talking about self-pleasure and self-acceptance too. That comes through in this card. So self-love, your self-work, your self-love will really help you in terms of you manifesting whatever it is that you want, right? And to really forgive yourself of all of the mistakes and all of the imperfections that you have, I would say, and to stop being so cruel to yourself and allow yourself to really just be, that you do not have to perform, you do not have to be liked, you do not have to do things according to what other people want. You can totally just follow your own way, follow your own intuition, follow your own inner guidance, and that is the best things that you can ever do for yourself. Okay, heal yourself through eternal love and unconditional self-acceptance. Like, yeah, you too deserve a lot of love and unconditional self-acceptance, right? The acceptance of yourself, you fully loving and embracing yourself no matter what happens, no matter what comes your way, right? And the belief and the faith that you have within that, I'm going to make this happen no matter what. I am going to create my own dreams no matter what. right? And I'm going to continuously heal myself along the way. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to let myself free. I'm going to, shake off all of the burdens on my shoulders and allow myself to be loved, allow myself to be accepted by myself, right? So that I can be free, so that I do not have to let other people's judgments weigh me down anymore. Right? So these are ways where you can be grateful for in your life, which is your own self-love, the way you treat yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the way you look at yourself, right? Do you look at yourself with criticism, or do you look at yourself with unconditional love? Right? See yourself through the eyes of the divine. And the divine loves you unconditionally, no matter how you look, no matter how you feel about yourself. It always loves you. No matter you feel like a villain, or you feel like a good girl, you feel like no matter how you feel, right? It still loves you unconditionally, right? Give yourself a big hug, give yourself a big embrace, right? Setting the intention that I will forgive myself, I will set myself free from all of the pain that I've endured and that I've suffered. And I'm ready to look within and find my own goodness and to really work on my self-love journey so that I can have such strong belief within, and that nothing else in the outside wavers me anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna read from the guidebook, which is the number 13. Yes, okay. Dear human, if letting go was a door, forgiveness would be the key. Forgive yourself for all of the mean things you thought about yourself. Forgive others for hurting you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve it. Love yourself enough to let go of this burden, higher self. Right? I feel like you are really, really strongly connected with your higher self. Like I was even getting that at the beginning, which is you are very connected with your highest reality, with your highest self. Right? And you are working with your highest self to bring the reality, to bring the timeline that you are living into this current reality. Right? And I don't know whether you believe in timelines or not, but I believe it. Okay, maybe you subconsciously are working with it and you do not even realize it. But you are consistently aligning yourself with your highest timeline, with your highest self, so they can help you to achieve your dreams in this current reality, in this current timeline, timeline that we are in right now. Okay, so that is all that I have for you today, pile number 2, and I really, really hope that this reading resonated for you. I'm not even sure if this reading makes any sense or if this has anything to do with gratefulness, but I hope that through this reading you can find your own power, find your own love, find your own ways in order for you to trust yourself even more and allow the divine to support you and help you and love you as well. Okay, so thank you so much to your spirit guides and the universe for allowing me to read for you. And if you're interested, you can like, subscribe and comment to the Grown Girl Tarot if you're interested. And I'm sending you a lot of my love, and I will see you guys in my next reading. Thank you so much, pile 2. Bye. Hi, welcome back, pile number 3. So in today's reading, we will be looking at what do you need to be grateful for in your life. So we will be taking 3 tarot cards as usual and a final closing affirmation to close this reading to help you find ways to be grateful for things in your life. Now, before we get started, please remember that this is a collective reading. Not all messages are going to resonate. Please do not give your power away to me or any other psychics, any other readers out there, okay? You always have the free will to create your destiny. If you do not like or your intuition tells you that this is not your pile, please listen to it and trust yourself more than anything else. Alright, if you feel triggered by this reading, if you do not like what you are listening to, then please take a pause, check out my other piles or check out my other readings if you resonate with my energy, or you can check out other amazing readers out there that you might resonate with more, okay? So before we get started, I wanted to apologize because there's a lot of construction that is happening right now, and if you can hear construction noise, then I really want to apologize, and this is something that is out of my control. I cannot control all of these things, and yeah, please bear with me, and please bear with me throughout this entire reading if you can hear some level of construction noise. I've closed my entire home. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. I have locked the doors, shut the windows, and I want to minimize the noise right? And if you still can hear it, then I really cannot do anything about it because this is literally out of my control. Okay? So before we get started, I keep hearing pray. Pray, pray, and pray. Just like how I was praying. Actually, every reading before I get started on every reading, I would always pray to the divine. I would always pray to Spirit to ask to guide me throughout this entire reading. And for you guys, I'm just sensing there is a lot of things that are out of your control even. Now I'm seeing the Emperor card in the reverse, which is there's a lot of things that are out of your control, right? You cannot really foresee what is happening right now in your circumstances, and you might be really struggling to. Right? I'm hearing you may be struggling to minimize the noise as well. Maybe it's not just minimizing the noise externally, but even internally, right? You might be facing a lot of, I'm hearing backlash or even controversy, maybe in your ideas, in your opinions, or maybe even in your own mind. You may be fighting a lot of battles in your own mind, or that there's just a lot of overthinking, a lot of anxiety, or your mind just doesn't really want to cooperate with your heart, right? That your heart is guiding you towards this direction, and your ego, your mind is like, no, this is scary, no, we can't touch that area, or no, we can't go to that direction because it feels very unfamiliar, because it's scary, no, we need to stay in our comfort zone, no, we need to stay here. And it's like you need to listen to your heart, right? And I know that sometimes it can be very difficult for the ego to sort of mind its own business and to cooperate, because our ego might just create a lot more disruption rather than listening to our hearts, right? So it's very important for you to soothe our ego. How can we soothe our ego? By telling our ego, yes, I hear you. Yes, I see your distress. Yes, I see your anxiety, but I'm not going to stop, right? I'm still going to follow my heart. I'm still going to follow my intuition. I'm going to trust what my intuition says, even if there's a lot of reasons that my mind is going to come up with, right? Because I know that these are just my limiting beliefs. I know that these are just my fears that I'm battling with right now, right? I'm having a fight. I'm having a battle, either to choose my comfort zone or to choose a better future for myself, right? Or to choose to take action, or to choose to put my voice out there, to put my ideas out there, because I know that this is going to be of help to the collective. I know that this is going to be of help to humanity, and this is what I'm going to do. So it's very important for you to stand in your own power, stand in your own truths, despite how many external circumstances that might be working against you, right? Maybe other people might not understand you, right? You might, whatever it is that you're putting out there might be really controversial, might be really different, might just, it just doesn't fit, right? And it's okay. It's okay for you to be different. It's okay for you to be rebellious. It's okay for you to create an entirely different route, an entirely different opinion that other people do not resonate with. And you will find your people. This is something that I can assure you. You will always find your people that will resonate with you, that will share similar ideas, that will share similar perspectives and beliefs just like you. Pile number 3. Okay, so yeah, I hope that this short channel reading helped you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, pile number 3. Now we will be moving on to the 3 tarot cards. So firstly, we have the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the 5 of Swords in the upright. Very interesting. What do you need to be grateful for? Lastly, we have We have the Magician and the Hermit. Okay, it is in frame. Okay, cool. All right. So what do you need to be grateful for? So for you, pile number 3 is that it's actually very similar to what I've just mentioned, because I can see that you have been carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders, right? You might be dealing with things, you might be fighting quite a lot of battles within your mind. You might be fighting a lot of battles and having a lot of conflicts with other people around you, or even just with the world and with society in general, right? That you feel like your ideas might not be welcomed. You feel like other people are just going to find you to be too opinionated, is what I'm hearing. And there is, as coming from myself, right, who is extremely opinionated too, I believe that when it's time for us to stand strong in our own powers, in our own opinions, then we need to, right? If we know that this idea is going to be of benefit to others, then I'm going to still speak about it. I'm still going to put forth my ideas out there, because I know that this is going to be of benefit. This is not just for me. This is for other people, even if they do not resonate with it, right? It's very interesting. I saw this Instagram post the other day. It's about things that you are not educated about and you choose to shut up, like you choose not to speak up about it. And I totally agree. I totally agree. Right? Like, just because I don't speak up about things that are currently happening out there in the world right now, it doesn't mean that I don't care about it. It means that I'm not educated about it, and I'm choosing to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to bring more, I don't want to stir up whatever is happening already, right? And unless I am educated about this, unless I am actively learning and passionate about this certain topic, I'm going to just keep my mouth shut. And there's the one contribution that I am sure that I'm going to put it out there. Maybe that's yours too, right? Maybe some of you might resonate with it. It's not that I'm choosing not to speak up about it. It's just because I am not knowledgeable about such subjects, right? And I'm fighting in my own ways. I am contributing in my own ways. Just because I'm not speaking about this topic, it doesn't mean that I'm not in contribution. It doesn't mean that I'm just like not doing anything productive. I'm not making any contribution. No, these are just limiting beliefs, at least per my perspective, okay? That's just how I view things. And maybe it's for you too, like whatever wisdom that you have gathered within yourself, whatever that resonates with your soul, whatever it is that you choose to fight, it is true to you. It is what the divine puts you in, right? With the Magician card here, in the upright. Right, and I'm just sensing a very independent person here. Like you're just somebody that you fight your way through work, through school, through society. Right, you are just a very unconventional type of a being. And Spirit is saying that this is something that you can always be grateful for, is that whatever opinions that you have, whatever you have strong understanding and opposing, and even opinions that you agree with, or all of them, all of the above that I've just mentioned, it is all true to your soul. It's all true to you, right? You can always trust what your intuition is telling you. You can always trust whatever it is that you are putting yourself out there, whatever ideas that you have, whatever perspectives, whatever beliefs that you have. You can always trust that this is going to help you, not only just helping you, but also helping others at the same time. Whatever creativity that you want to use it, right? Whatever forms, whatever modes of communication, however you want to express yourself, your self-expression is very, very important to you in this lifetime. And it can feel very nuanced, right? Because it's not just this like black and white. It is very nuanced, and like I keep mentioning, it can be very controversial, because not many people might understand you, not many people might get you, just like this example that I provide, which is speaking up about certain popular topics, certain topics that needs to be that needs to be spoken out right now. Right? Not everything needs to how should I put this? It's not everything needs to have an opinion, but it's more about like, because I myself personally, I believe that we have our own purpose, right? Like just because you're not speaking about it, other people, those that are very passionate about this topic, they will speak up about it, right? And that we are all just doing our own thing in our own free time and in our own world. Like just because you are not on social media actively advocating for what is happening out there in the world right now, it doesn't mean that you're unworthy or that, you know, you are ignorant. I mean, you are ignorant and all. No. Please don't place those limiting beliefs on yourself. Like, I admit that I'm ignorant in a lot of spaces, in a lot of topics that I don't even know. Right? And I trust that there are going to be better people out there that are so much more educated and so much more knowledgeable than me, and they have the right to put it out there too. Right? Like these limiting beliefs, don't limit yourself to just one thing or the other, because two truths or like many truths, multiple truths can exist at the same time. And this is something they can always have faith for. Right? And that no matter how others try to make you out to be this person that is just very conflicting or like very controversial, don't take it personally, because our life is not black and white, right? We don't live our lives in just one or the other truths, right? Many truths can exist, and sometimes social media just doesn't really allow that, so to speak. Like doesn't allow that, because many people are just engaging in these very black and white concepts. As coming from somebody who is already very black and white in my own values and in my own personal opinions, I agree that social media sometimes can be too black and white to the point where they cannot hold other truths, right? And you are not, Paul number 3, I'm not getting you are this person. I feel like you can hold many different perspectives in one point. But at the same time, you are still able to stand strong in your own opinions while still being able to hold space for other person's opinions. And this is your gift, right? And this is your gift. And these are the things that you can always be grateful for, is that for those that do not understand you, they will just automatically fall away, or they won't be able to understand from your perspective. Why? Because they don't really hold nuances in their perspectives. They just want other people to either agree with them or disagree with them. Right? It's a very ego way. Like either you agree with me or you disagree with me. But like just because I understand you, it doesn't mean that I have to agree with you or I have to disagree with you. It's just you can have your truths, I can have mine. But you will notice that people like this, they will fall away automatically in your life. And Spirit is saying that this is something that you can always be grateful for, and that those that don't resonate with you, those that doesn't resonate with your energy, they will naturally just leave. And I know that this can be something that is very hard to hear, because you would automatically go into hermit mode, you will go into a very self-reflective mode, you might start to question everything again. But I feel like these are the things that you do not have to take it very personally, because Spirit is realigning and redirecting you to only people, ideas, perspectives, and your own wisdom that is necessary for you, beneficial for you and for other people at the same time. Because whenever you go into hermit mode, whenever you go into a really self-reflective mode, you're not just helping yourself, but you're helping other people too. Right? If you do not express yourself, if you do not express yourself in a very authentic way, how can the right people find you? Because you're just messing and you're just around people that do not align. Isn't it? Pound number 3. Right? And I'm also getting a lot of battles in my own mind right now, and I'm getting that this is from your energy too, pound number 3. So you might really just been having a fight, a battle with your own mind, because maybe there is some part of you that does not really, like your ego, right? Your ego might just be battling with a lot of opinions, a lot of perspectives right now. So it's very important for you to keep yourself off from social media. I'm hearing like witchcraft. right? So you might be somebody who is going into witchcraft, for example. You might be going something that is much more, you might be getting advice from social media, for example. But it's very important for you to educate yourself, right? To Google, to do more research rather than just taking things at a very surface level, or rather than just listening to social media, right? Because when you want to get into a certain level, certain development of spirituality, you're gonna have to educate yourself about such things and to not take social media as what it is. Sometimes what works for other people, it might not actually work for you, pound number 3. So, it's very important for you to develop your own values, to develop your own ways of living. Right? How you want to do witchcraft is not just like however other people are showing. They have this beautiful aesthetic. If you resonate with this beautiful aesthetic, sure. But if you're somebody who is more like down to the basics, right? You do not really like to use like herbs, like oils. You just want to use candles, or you just want to use a piece of paper and a pen and just like just tear it and then throw it in the dustbin or burn it away, then do it. You don't have to follow what is currently trending right now, right? You can always believe that you always have the right to develop your own ways, of moving through life, and your own ways of developing your own practice, your own craft, right? Whether it's spirituality or in a very professional way, like in business, in banking, in finance, you can always develop your own way, right? Even in the ways you learn. Sometimes you learn maybe through memorizing things, and sometimes you might learn through writing things down, or you might learn through other people showing you practical examples of certain things, right? Different people have different levels of living, different ways of living. You don't have to just follow what is the trend right now, right? Even the witchcraft that I was just talking about, if you do not have any candles, if you are low in budget, you can always just use a piece of paper and a pen and just like tear it, right? You don't necessarily have to follow what is the right way of living. There's no such thing as that, right? So these are the things that you can always be grateful for and thankful for, is that Spirit will always give you a choice, that you always have your own free will of creating your own system, creating your own ways of contributing, your ways of standing up and fighting for what's right. You can always trust in that voice in you. Not the ego's voice, but the soul's voice of telling you, of guiding you in the direction that you want to be in the ways where you want to express yourself. That is always the thing that you can trust it more than anything else. Right? I don't know if you can hear the construction noise, and I really apologize. It's very fucking annoying, I swear to God. So yeah, like I'm also hearing like, do not engage with things that are out of your control, just like what is happening right now. And these are things that I do not have any control over, even if I obsess about stopping it. Like I really just want to stop this construction, but I cannot. Just like how you cannot control how other people are going to react to you. I don't know why I'm getting like you might be this person that is just walking away, and that this might be somebody that this person or either this community or either these people, they might be the ones hurting you, and you are the one that is just like walking away because you do not want to engage with such behaviors anymore, or you might just want to isolate yourself. But Spirit is saying that yes, through isolation you can create a certain level of self-reflection, but you do not have to just keep yourself stuck in that one place. You do not have to keep yourself isolated forever. Sometimes it's very necessary for you to bring down whatever it is that you have gained from your isolation phase, from the phase where you are alone. You will always come back to the material world after a period of self-reflection. Right? This isolation phase is not here for you to just hide yourself in forever. No. You are here to bring down whatever is happening out into the physical world. You will always come back to the material world after you have done a certain level of self-reflection. So do not let other people's words and do not let other people's way of living affect you, affect your soul, affect how you think about life and how you actively engage with life in itself, and how you engage with others, how you engage with the world, right? How you just move. If they think that you are crazy, if they think that you are controversial, let them think that. Because ultimately, you know you are working for your highest good. With the Magician card in the upright, definitely you are very connected to spirit, very connected to the divine. But sometimes your mind, your mind as well as external and outside circumstances might be interfering with your ways of connecting with the divine, because number one, you might not trust it, or number two, you might just be so engaged with other people's life, their way of living, their thoughts, their opinions, that you kind of completely miss out on your own, that you have to go back into the self-reflective space again, and then you come back again. But actually there is a much more easier way for you to do so. Is that I'm hearing like, don't read comments even, or like don't take it personally, right? 1 year in, the other year out. And I know, I acknowledge that it is a very difficult practice, right, for you to not take things personally. I am still learning that as well. Coming from a person who kind of rethinks every conversation, replays every situation, I am also struggling with this, and I'm here with you too, pound number 3. But ultimately, Spirit is saying that however your life experiences are, it is very personal to you, and that nobody can have any influence and control over your life, right? Even if those that bring you a lot of benefit, even if those that I'm also hearing, even if those that do not have any good intentions towards you, they bring a lot of wisdom in you, that you will ultimately gain something from it. You will learn to trust yourself better. You will learn to gain discernment. You will learn how to spot red flags, right? So that you will ultimately stay clear from such people, or stay clear from such belief systems. All right, but pile 3, remember this. The thing that you can always be grateful for is that no matter how many times you have been through shit, right? You have been through people trying to brainwash you, people trying to manipulate you, people to try to, to be generous towards you, even in ways where they can manipulate you. You can always bounce back from that. You can always bounce back from that, right? When you are sitting with yourself, reflecting, sitting in silence, you can always get your answer. Quieting your mind, quieting your ego. Ultimately, you always have your answer deep within you, somewhere within, below the levels of your ego. You can always hear the answer screaming at you, telling you that this is not right, or that this is right. Go ahead, do that. Or that this is not right. I'm going to stop myself from pursuing this. I'm going to stop myself from saying yes. Okay, so yeah, I really hope that this made sense. Honestly, I don't even know if this made any sense though throughout this entire reading, but I'm praying and hoping that this helped you. So yeah, we're going to take this deck, which is the Soul Whispers Oracle cards. Yeah, and I'm going to hold on. I'm going to shuffle, and I'm going to take some messages. So yeah, I just want to thank you for being here, and thank you so much for listening to this reading despite the annoying construction noise. And I just really want to apologize, but at the same time I want to thank you for being here and for trusting yourself to listen to my readings and take it with a grain of salt. Okay, like not every messages needs to be taken, needs to be listened. Okay, always trust your intuition. above all else. All right, if you find that this reading is just not resonating for you, then yeah, you can check out my other posts. But I just want to thank you for being here. Okay, now we will look at ways to be blah blah blah. What does pile number 3 need to be grateful for? How can they find ways to be grateful for in their lives? Spirit, how can pile number 3 find ways to be grateful for in their lives? How can pile number 3 find ways to be grateful for in their lives? How can pile number 3 find ways to be grateful for in their lives? Spirit that loves pile number 3 unconditionally. How can pile number 3 find ways to be grateful for in their lives? Okay. Now, hold on. Okay. So we have connect with your soul family, and we have release the tension, relax your face and shoulders, let it all go, surrender. I don't know if you can see this image, but look at this person just trying to allow themselves to float. This is just very, very interesting, very cute. Release the tension, relax your face and shoulders, let it all go, surrender. Like, yeah, how find ways to be grateful for in your life. It's to allow yourself to slow down, right? Don't engage with the things that are no longer serving you, right? And don't take other people's way of living personally, right? And how they view your creativity, how they view your ideas, how they view the ways that you are doing things. Like, don't take that personally. Take that as a way that, yeah, they don't understand me, then I'm just going to release them, I'm just going to let it go. Because this is how some people are, right? Not just on social media, but in real life, how some people are. Like, they just want to continuously argue with you, right? They just want to argue with you. They do not want to listen your perspective. They just want you to just agree with them, right? Like, they don't really want your understanding. They just want your agreement, because that is what feels satisfying to the ego, isn't it? But sometimes we are all going to have different views and opinions on different things. I'm not saying the ones that are the core levels, okay, like the ones that are like values, you know, how you view, like your core values, how you view certain important issues. These are the things that we have to align with one another. But what I'm saying is just like different opinions, like hobbies, passions, interest, joy, and even just thinking that you're just very controversial. But at the same time, there is nothing wrong with being controversial, isn't it? It just means that not a lot of people are able to accept such opinions. And it's okay. And it's okay for you or the other person to not accept each other's controversial opinions. But as long as the core values align, right, the things that are very, very important that align, for example, feminism, right? How we view matriarchy, patriarchy, for example. How do we view like crime, something that's related to the justice system, for example. Like, these are things that are very, very important. Right? I'm just giving an example, okay? So these are things that are very important. And how do we view all of these things and our core values? These are the things that we have to align with one another, right? So yeah, release the tension, relax your face and shoulders, let it all go, right? And don't take things personally from other people that just do not get you and do not understand you, okay? And do not understand the meaning behind your own controversy, and they just label you as somebody that is just very too opinionated, for example. They just label you as somebody that is just very controversial and that nobody should be listening to you because you are just blah, 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 blah. Like, don't listen to such words and ways of life and your own views, okay? So allow yourself to relax and flow with it, right? And what I mean by flow is just let things happen naturally, right? Let things happen peacefully. and at ease as well. Okay, so you have the number 32, which adds up to 5, which is literally the Hierophant card, right? The Hierophant card, because a great teacher, I would say, they would invite in many different conflicting opinions. Some people might agree with them, some might argue, right? Look at Carl Jung, right? Those that don't resonate with him, sure. Those that resonate with him, great, right? His way of living, his philosophy, his views, his opinions, his ways of thinking. And those that doesn't resonate with him will just leave him alone, right? They can go and find other thinkers, other philosophers that they resonate with. But that doesn't mean that he's wrong. That doesn't mean that his way of living is wrong. That's just, no, it's not just really this black and white thing. It holds nuances and many different approaches as well. Okay, and we have the number 27, which is connect with your soul family. Yeah, connecting with your soul family. Finding like-minded people, right? Whether in the 3D or whether in the 5D, if you have yet to meet them, connecting with them, so that you are able to feel held, feel loved, feel supported, that you are not fighting this alone, you're not doing this alone, that you have people that really support you and that they really align with you, they really resonate with you, right? They see your views, they see your ways of living not as a threat, but as a way, as an invitation, for them to self-reflect. And if, let's say, if they still do not resonate with it, sure, right? But they understand you at a deep soul level. Right? They get you, they see you for who you are, not just like immediately labeling you as this person, right? They see you for who you are. Okay, connecting with your soul family, it's very important for you to live in a really true and a really authentic way so that you can start attracting people that are aligned with you. And for those that don't, those that you think that, oh, like it seems like we just don't, it seems that our, like some important things that I take very personally that I want to fight for, and you don't resonate with it, then I'm sorry, then you're just not my person. You know it at the core of your heart. You know if this person is your soul family. You know if this person is truly meant to be with you, because through your conversations, through your ways of exchanging your ideas and opinions and your perspectives with one another, you will ultimately know whether is this person right for you. You will always have your answer, just like the magician. You will always find, and you will always know your answer. Okay, pile number 3. So yeah, that is all that I have for you today, pile number 3. I really hope that this reading resonated. And once again, I want to apologize for the construction noise. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to read for you. I don't know if this reading made any sense. Whew, and right now it's like Mercury retrograde when I'm recording this. So yeah, thank you so much for bearing with me and for tolerating me. So yeah, I want to thank your spirit guides and the universe for allowing me to read for you. It really is an honor. And if you're interested, you can like, subscribe, and comment if you want to. And I will see you guys in my next reading. Thank you so much, pile number 3, and I'm sending you a lot of love. Bye. So, hi, pile number 3. I'm back again. So I realized that I forget to read from the guidebook. So I'm just going to read it right now from the guidebook. Okay, we have 27. So, connect with your soul family. Dear human, surround yourself with those who believe in you, those who genuinely wish you well and are on the same wavelength. Keep those who make your heart sing close to you. Don't forget about your tribe. See them as your sisters, brothers, teachers, gurus. They are in your life for a reason deeper than you might realize. Higher self. Okay. Next we have release the tension, relax your face and shoulders, let it all go, surrender. Dear human, you are a soul in a human body and you are responsible for taking care of your human body. It is okay to slow down. Remember to rest. Remember that rest is productive as it allows you to restore your energy. Energy which will be used to create the life you want to live and to enjoy the life you have now. Okay? So yeah, thank you so much, pile number 3, and I'll see you guys in my next reading. Bye.